Hi YouTube, this is Natural Beauty once again coming at you um, with a few more hair care tips. Um, if you've watched any of my previous videos, then you've actually heard me talk about how tangled my hair becomes on the end. So I decided to do some more research about it, trying to find out what the causes are, and also Linda East Bradley, I think it is. She has a question and answer session, and I actually asked her the question, and she answered it in one of her videos. She put some information in there. But as I read and as I've looked at some of the videos here on YouTube and on the web, just in general, there are a lot of people with the tangled end issue, but a lot of people with curly hair, they do have that issue. And it's almost like sometimes with curly hair, once you detangle the ends, if you're working through, your hair trying to style it or whatever, it's almost like they just almost instantly just get tangled back up sometimes. But I did some research. I actually had to write some of it down so that I wouldn't to forget what I actually had read. And one of the things, let me grab my paper. One of the things that actually may cause the tangles in the first place, um, one thing that I read, it said if you're not combing your hair on a regular basis, but it just depends on what a regular basis is for you. I don't comb my hair every day. Normally, I do not comb my hair at all unless I'm washing it, and I usually wash it once a week. So I mean, if you go like months, of course, without combing your hair, or maybe even 4 weeks or whatever without you know um, combing your hair without detangling or whatever, you're gonna have tangled hair because the hair begins to lock. And some people's hair locks a little faster. People with curlier textures tend to lock a little bit faster than than other hair types. But that could be one thing. And I think I also covered this in one of my other videos. If to wash your hair, this is not the way to wash your hair. You don't just pile your hair up on your head and wash your hair. Normally, if I'm washing my hair, I work from the ends of my hair to the root. Um, and some people, they actually put large cornrows in the hair, and they use a squirt bottle with warm water and some shampoo, and they squirt it, and then they do the scalp, and then take the braids out and do from end to root. It's just whatever works for you. But for me, to reduce the breakage and help with the tangles, I always do from end to root, and that helps. Before I learned how to wash my hair properly, I did have more tangles than what I actually have now because I was from the old school and I just piled my hair up on my head and I just washed it that way. Um, Also, this is something that I learned by trial and error as well. I have a satin pillowcase, and so my thinking was, since I have a satin pillowcase, I really don't have to do anything to my hair. And I was really one of those people that the less that I had to do, the better it was for me. Just kind of being lazy, I guess. But I've learned that the satin pillowcase, it doesn't actually stop, your hair from becoming entangled into the pillowcase, because it does, because I've gone to sleep and I've, woke up the next morning, or I've moved my head and I've actually heard my hair breaking because it got into the fibers of the satin pillowcase. And some of the ladies that I also read about with curly hair textures say the same thing that I'm about to say, that it's best, even if you have a satin cap, to do something to protect your hair at night. I don't sleep with anything on my head, like a scarf or anything like that, because it rubs out my edges for one thing, and normally the the scarf or whatever would just end up in bed instead of on my head. So I started to, do the little plaits that you see that I have now, and I just put them all over. If I'm not doing like a twist out or anything. I just do these little plaits. And even when I do a twist out, I still twist the hair at night to protect it, and that's helped with the tangles some. Um, Also, you would need moisture, and I kind of figured that out through trial and error as well, because just the way that my hair felt, I'm like, well, maybe I'm not getting enough moisture in the hair. And if you watch my previous video, this is actually the same pieces of hair that I had out when I did the Miss Jessie's product review. And you can actually, the part with the Miss Jessie's um, butter, buttercream in it, you can actually, I don't know if you can hear the difference, but it's pretty easy to get through. And this is the part with the Carol's daughter, and if you can see it, I'm having a little bit tougher time working through the part with the Carol's daughter, and that's because that product is not giving my hair enough moisture. Um, but like I said, the part with the Miss Jessie's buttercream, the curly buttercream on it is more moist, and so my ends aren't that tangled. So moisture could be a problem. You could also you probably need to, if you've deep conditioned and you've gotten your hair moist and you still have a problem with real bad tangles, then you may want to try getting your ends clipped, because you may have some broken ends that are actually getting tangled and causing your hair to be tangled. If you use a lot of styling sprays like hairspray, spritz, gel, I'm trying to think anything like that, just a lot of styling products, then you may want to wash your hair and wash that out before you're actually trying to comb it, because that does cause tangles as well. If you are if you're if you have a tangle in your hair while you're combing or brushing your hair, you don't want to yank it. Like I see some ladies just, they just take the comb. They're actually combing their hair improperly anyway by combing from the root to the end. Um, but I see some ladies that pull it and they brush it, really rough. And you don't want to do that, because it's really not, it's going to cause breakage for one thing. And you're going to end up having more tangles because you're probably tearing up your hair cuticle during the process. So that's, one thing. Um, for me, since I don't comb my hair, if I have tangles when I'm getting ready to wash my hair, I just take some of the shampoo, or either I take an oil of some type, and I just work my way from the ends to the root to remove the tangles. I'm sorry, and then I'll wash my hair that way. You can even do a preconditioner if you need to, if you find that using conditioner to take the tangles out of your hair works better. Like I said, just work through it from the end to the root, and then just wash that out. But normally oil, some type of oil like jojoba oil or something like that, works best for me to get the tangles out before I wash. Let me look at my list and make sure that I did not miss anything. Okay, with the whenever you're make sure that you use a moisturizing conditioner, and you may want to use a detangler as your leave-in. You can find a good leave-in conditioner and use that, and normally that helps. You may want to put some moisture on your hair before bed. I did put the curly buttercream on my ends before, not like right before bed, but at least maybe 30 minutes, 45 minutes. And that helped me as well with my tangles. And I'm actually going to have to do a part 2 to this video because I'm about to run out of time. So stay tuned for part 2. Thanks, guys.